But I'm really amazed at this great turnout, and it's really great to see so many of you out here this evening, obviously enthused with hope and change that is sweeping across South Africa. And especially to give up your time on a rainy evening like this to spend it with a bunch of politicians. Now, I know that we're not the most popular bunch of people in South Africa at the moment, and it actually led a leading Stellenbosch professor to make a suggestion that perhaps instead of doing scientific experiments on rats, they should instead do them on politicians. And he said there's no shortage of politicians, and if you watch Channel 4/8, I'm sure you'll see that. Secondly, he said nobody really cares what happens to politicians. And thirdly, and most importantly, he said there's just some things they can't get the rats to do. Well, I hope we're a different type of politician. But may I say that as we meet here at these cricket grounds and we have a bit of a light-hearted moment, South Africa stands at a crossroads. Now, I know that every election, politicians come to you and say to you, this is the most important election. But I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that tonight, as we stand here, it is the most important election on the 3rd of August. Because South Africa stands at a crossroads. And whatever the outcome on the 3rd of August, we're going to wake up on the 4th of August, and South Africa is going to be a very different country. Now, we can continue down the path that the ANC have set us along, 10 years, low growth, low employment, corruption, maladministration, suffering and poverty, unemployment queues growing longer by the day. Or on the 3rd of August, we can strike out in a bold new direction of inclusive growth, policies that get South Africa working again, that get our politics working again, but most importantly, get our people working again. Because we also meet here tonight in the context of the fact that there are 8.9 million South Africans, our countrymen and women, who do not have the dignity of a job. It is an unsustainable situation. And the hardest part for me in this election has not been the long hours, the walking the streets, traveling on aeroplanes to visit the battlegrounds around the country, stumping for candidates around the country to bring change in their communities. The hardest part for me is visiting places like KwaNobuhle, Umlazi, Tintown and Isipingo, and looking into people's eyes and seeing people who have completely lost hope for the future. Not even a flicker of hope anymore in their eyes. And it's been so hard to try and reignite that hope in those South Africans. The truth of the matter is that life has got far too hard for far too many South Africans. We need change in South Africa, and we need it now.